Hey there, welcome to the show. My name is Jamie Zweer, and I am the host of the Oh How Healthy podcast and the founder of Oh How Healthy Insiders, my signature membership site showing busy women how to simplify healthy eating so that it can fit into your budget and your schedule, not only for your health, but your family's health as well. I know that you're busy, so I'm going to keep these episodes short, sweet, and to the point. And without any further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for being here. So I wanted to chat today about a topic that is one of the main pillars in my business and what I help families focus on, because when we look to get healthier, when we're thinking about incorporating healthy eating, it can be a little bit overwhelming and confusing and frustrating, especially when it comes to how are we going to fit this whole thing into our budget. Because I believe that eating healthy should not only be easy and fast and delicious, but it should also be affordable, because if it's not affordable, it's not going to be something that is sustainable or something that you're going to want to stick to long term, because those grocery bills can add up pretty quickly. So if you're not a fan of going to multiple stores to do your grocery shopping, if you're not a fan of clipping coupons, if you're not a fan of endlessly searching circulars for deals and sales, then this episode is going to be for you, because I'm going to share about 10 tips that's going to help you cut that grocery bill down. My signature thing is that I like to help families do their grocery shopping for about $100 a week for a family of two. So adjust accordingly if you have, a little one, or maybe there's a couple teenagers, but really grocery shopping should not be that much, and there's just a few things that you want to look out for. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. And so without any further ado, let me dive in. So first things first here. You want to know what things cost. And this may seem silly because you're like, obviously I know what it costs, like I bought it, but it's really just about whenever we're trying to break a bad habit or incorporate a good habit, you just want to become aware. Bring your awareness to the situation. So there's so many times where I just grab something and I don't really notice how much it costs. I just pick it up because I know I need it. And then someone will ask me, how much did that cost? And I was like, I really didn't know. So it's just important to figure out how much things are costing you. And a great thing that you can do to become aware is that you can challenge yourself to take your phone, a calculator with you through the grocery store and add things up as you go. I did this for a long time until I got into the habit of just like remembering what the staple things that I bought cost. But this is really great. It will allow you to know exactly what you are spending at the grocery store, plus make sure that you are becoming aware of how much things cost. And this is even easier if you do your grocery shopping online, right? Because it's like in the cart, $1.49, okay. $7.99, okay, let's take that out of the cart. Let's find a more affordable option, which is amazing. Online shopping changed the game. So if you're not familiar with online shopping, send me a message and I'll send you a couple links and discount codes to get you started. Another reason why I like to notice what things cost is that it seems that different things are cheaper at different stores also. So you might have some favorite meals or ingredients that you use more than others. So make a list of the top 10 to 20 commonly used ingredients in your house and write down what they cost so that you know what places will have it at the most affordable price. Make a point to stock up on those basics when you see that you're at the store where they're the cheapest. All right, so tip number 2 is all about eating in season. So buy fruits and veggies when they are in season. Most of the time, depending on your location, I suppose, things like berries, apples, peaches, strawberries, blueberries, things like that are going to be cheaper in the summer because they're in season. And then things like potatoes, cabbage, squash, things like that are going to be cheaper in the fall and the winter. So eating in season helps you get a more affordable price for your produce. But if you are either in a location and is not in season, so let's say, for example, it's fall, it's winter, and you want to get some berries, but they're very expensive for just a small container of berries. You can opt for frozen berries, which are just as great. Frozen berries, you can get a lot more for your money, and you can make sure that they won't go bad because you just take them out as you need them. And so don't be afraid of frozen produce. I would just say double check to make sure that there's no added sugars or sodium, because that's not necessary. You just want the frozen produce. All right, on to tip number 3. So shop sales. Now, I know when I started this podcast, I said you don't really want to be the crazy person shopping circulars and going to multiple stores. That's not necessary, but your store, most local grocery stores in general, run sales, and you can become aware of sales cycles. So stores often cut prices on a few items to get you in the door in hopes that you will fill your cart with the non-sale items. So notice that. Notice how the things that you need are typically in the back of the store. Like if you go into Target and you're like, oh, I just need to run in and grab eggs. They're always at the back of the store so that you pass all the clothes, all the makeup, everything else. And grocery stores do the same thing when they have sale items. A lot of the times it can be a little bit further in the store. They just want to get you in the store so that you can just add a couple extra things on your way to the checkout aisle. So don't fall for that. You want to buy base what's on sale. So that can be really powerful. Most people just get those circulars mailed to their house. You can refer to them and get to know the sales cycle at your local store. Usually sales come in around every 6 to 8 weeks. So for example, if the blueberries are on sale, or if it's like a pasta you like, it will usually ebb and flow in about a 6 to 8 week cycle. So become aware of that. And this is kind of an exception to the fruits and veggies because, like I said earlier, the squash and the seasonal produce definitely varies by season. So stock up on the foods that are on sale when you can get them. Tip 4 here is all about planning your meals. You want to plan your meals based off of, so a couple things that we talked about, knowing what's in season, you want to shop sales, you want to know what things cost, so what are you and your family in the mood for, but mainly you want to plan your meals for a sense of well-being, like clarity in your mind. You wouldn't necessarily go on a trip without planning ahead of time. And this is the same for meal planning and grocery shopping. The last thing you want to do is just go to the grocery store and just be on autopilot, just grabbing different things here and there. I mean, maybe if you have a certain system down and you're like, all right, we have pasta this night, or we have this, and you just like kind of have the system down, like that's one thing. But if you're looking to actively get healthier, try new things, and you want to do it with a plan in mind, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming, I'll say that over and over again, but planning your meals around what is on sale for the week and what you have on hand can save you a ton of money on groceries. So you can plan to even have like certain leftovers for lunch as well. So it can really come in full circle and save you a lot of money when you plan your meals. And it makes packing lunches, like I just said, a little bit easier instead of being tempted to go out and grab something to eat. So you are saving time, you're saving money, you're giving yourself a peace of mind knowing what's for dinner, so you don't have to hear the husband and kids saying, what's for dinner? Like, it's on the plan, like check the fridge, the meal plan is there. and as you guys know, I have the Oh How Healthy Insiders, which is my meal planning membership site that streamlines this process for you. So if you have any questions about that or how to get started, you can check the link in the show notes. All right, so plan your meals, and I also have a couple freebies that you can check the show notes for that will give you a meal plan template so that you can just like plug and play what you guys want to have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts. You can craft a grocery list off of those things and then a couple recipes to get you started, to get the ball rolling on some healthy, simple recipes. All right, on to our next tip, which is tip number 5. You want to stick to real unprocessed foods. And this may seem maybe a little bit counterintuitive because when people think, okay, we're going to be healthy this week, it can feel like, oh my gosh, my grocery bill is going to be so much money. But in fact, it's the opposite, because when you're shopping for real unprocessed foods, it is actually cheaper than buying a lot of the other packaged foods. And I think that misconception, that healthy misconception, foods cost a little bit more money when they're healthy, comes from the branded foods or the pre-packaged, even diet, quote unquote diet, healthy foods. Maybe things labeled gluten-free or keto or low carb. We don't need any of that. When we focus on real unprocessed foods, things that come from the produce section, things like a zucchini or a sweet potato, those things can be very, very cheap, affordable. I mean, you can even grow it in your backyard and you can make really delicious foods with that. So, and this tip is for you too, even if you are following a specific diet, it's always going to be cheaper and healthier to go with whole foods. So instead of buying like a boxed meal, like a lean cuisine meal, or maybe those low carb wraps or those frozen gluten-free waffles, we can make a lot of that stuff at home. We can prep it ahead of time and you can have it for the whole week for a fraction of the cost. So again, I have some recommendations and suggestions in the show notes to get you started on that. I mean, you can access my cookbook, all those different things that can get you started. Most of the recipes that I create are based off of simply just whole food ingredients. But also, you can make things, like instead of that box of lean cuisine pasta or that container of lean cuisine pasta, for example, you can grab a box of chickpea pasta, open a jar of marinara sauce or even canned tomatoes and cook up some turkey, some ground turkey, or make a pesto sauce, blend that up nice and fresh at home, and throw that together, and you will have a much bigger serving. It's going to be healthy for you. It's going to be much cheaper than the cost of that one lean cuisine dinner, and it's going to not have all those added chemicals in it. So that's an example of how you can stick to real unprocessed foods and in a very affordable way. So again, that point right there is kind of a meaty topic, which I can elaborate on. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram or at the website. Everything is at Oh How Healthy. So send me a message, let me know your thoughts, and I can help you get started. Okay, I'm losing track of how many tips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tip number 6, make a list and check the pantry. Okay, so once you have your meals planned and you've figured out what you and your family will want to eat for the week, you can craft a grocery list based off of those things. Hey, we're going to have chickpea pasta with pesto sauce. That means I'm going to need basil, I'm going to need spinach, I'm going to need chickpea pasta, and I'll need some ground turkey. Okay, awesome. Before I go to the store, let me check the pantry to see what I already have. Hey, look, there's a box of chickpea pasta from last week. I don't need that. Or you can grab it if it is a week that is on sale and just stock up on it. But that's your call. The next step is to make sure that you stick to that list, which is sometimes harder said than done, but you can do it. You can also go grocery shopping online, so you can literally just plug and play that grocery list into your favorite online grocery shopping service, and it can either get delivered to your door or free pickup at certain places or maybe a small charge. But again, that's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to avoid temptations at the store if you're like, ooh, like those bags of chips are on sale. Let me just grab it because I know my husband loves it. We're like, no, we're not doing that online. There's a lot less temptation, and it is a way to save money. All right, next tip. Try the store brand. This, I'm a fan of using the store brand of things. I don't really need my things to be brand name brand. But personally, all canned tomatoes or milk, unsweetened milk brands, they taste the same to me. So I'm not really too picky. Like the store brand rolled oats is a popular brand that can be really expensive if you get like the Bob's Red Mill. Like it might unnecessarily be $7 or $8 when you can just grab the non-name brand one for a couple bucks. And the same thing with like brown rice or beans or other things that it can just save you a couple dollars in the long run. So try the store brand, and I'm sure that there'll be things that will work for you that can save you lots of money moving forward. All right, so tip number 8. And also there will be a downloadable version of this, like the tips listed out that you can download. And again, just check the show notes for all those details so that you don't have to go back to the podcast, listen again. You don't have to take notes. I combined all these different tips together for you in one simple download. So go check that out in the show notes. But tip number 8 is to drink more water. Drink more water because it's great for your health. It's great for your skin. It's great for everything about you. But also it costs a lot less and is free if you get it from your sink, but it costs a lot less than all of those other sugary sodas and juices and other things that we drink, right? So drinking water is a great tip. And if you're not a fan of water, you can add some fruit, you can add some herbs, you can add some cucumbers for some added flavor and nutrition. All right, so that was a fun little tip. Tip number 9 is probably one of the most important ones. Shop on a full stomach, okay? It is really tempting to buy the treats and snack food when you're hungry or tired. So go grocery shopping when you're full. So those chips, those cookies, candies are much less appealing when you have a full stomach. And so sometimes what I'll do to get myself in the mood, or maybe I am actually doing my meal planning, what I'll do is I'll go maybe take myself out to lunch to Panera Bread or to, I don't know, a local place. I'll plan if I didn't get my planning done already, and I'll eat something so that I'm nice and full going into the grocery store and I have my list. I made sure that my list is done. And this is if you're not shopping online, which would really just make that point unnecessary because you'd be shopping at home. Actually, if you were shopping at home, you still might want to put a few extra things in your cart if you're hungry because everything would look good. So shop on a full stomach while you're in the store or at home. All right, and our 10th tip is to buy in bulk to save on your groceries. Meats in the family pack is often on sale when you buy a larger package. So even if you have a small family, you can package it and freeze it for later. You can cook it all and have it meal prep for the week. And so I often save a lot of money by buying my meats in bulk, and even things like shredded cheese, things like that. And also, I guess another tip here that you can do so buying in bulk, but I guess a sub point from that is to plan your meals based off of one protein so that you can buy in bulk. So for example, if on my meal plan it says tacos, fajitas, a pizza, mac and cheese, a salad, and it's like shrimp tacos or fish tacos and shrimp on my pizza or steak on my fajitas and all these different things, what I would do is I would just scrap all of them and just make one main protein. So it would be shrimp fajitas, shrimp tacos, shrimp on my pizza, shrimp on my salad, so that I can just buy a big bulk of shrimp. And then the next week, maybe do steak fajitas, steak tacos, steak on the pizza, steak in the salad, things like that. And as a little bonus tip here, shop solo. I mean, I'm all about incorporating the family into the meal planning, but leave them at home maybe if you can, because the more people in your shopping party, the more likely you are to impulse buy snack foods or other non-essentials. But obviously, if that's not an option, bring them with you. And I'm a big fan of just explaining to children, because I do a lot of work with kids in my kids cooking classes, is just have a conversation with them, let them know why you're trying to eat healthier this week, why it's important to watch what we're buying, why it's important to not add all this different stuff to our grocery cart so that we're not tempted to eat maybe the unhealthy things, because with the healthier ingredients, we can make a healthier food. It's really just about incorporating the little ones into the process. And even sometimes the spouses, you want to let them know. It's really just about getting on their level and understanding and trying to get them to understand why you're doing what you're doing, so that you're not doing all this hard work and trying to save money on your healthy meals just to have to go ahead and buy them the expensive bag of chicken nuggets because that's the only thing that they'll eat, or the hungry man dinners because that's what your spouse wants. This is a family effort. So try to get them on board. Try to get them to understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're trying to save money for the family. You're trying to get everyone to be a little bit healthier. And yeah, so again, let me know if you have any questions about anything that I talked about on today's show. I'm happy to answer them. You can always reach out to me on Instagram at ohhowhealthy. You can send me an email. You can check out the website. Everything is at ohhowhealthy. So give me a holler. Let me know what you have going on. And I hope that you found this episode helpful, because even if you can just start small and just save $10 a week on groceries, by the end of the year, that's $520. Like, that's a lot of money. And so just think, like, what can you do with an extra $500 a year? Can you put it towards Christmas shopping? Can you put it towards a vacation? And that's if it's only $10 a week. But with these tips, on average, like I said, I spend around $100 a week on groceries. So if you are someone who spends $200 plus on groceries, if you can save $50 a week, or maybe get your grocery bill down even more than that, that's a lot of money a year. So keep all that in mind. You got this. I'm here to support you. Let me know how you do. All right. So thanks for being here. I'll catch you next time. Have a great week.